bit about an article you wrote years ago called The Language of Leaders. I thought it was really fascinating. I just happened to be rereading it recently, and it gets at some of this, I think. Can you talk about some of your findings through that article?
Yeah, that article came about because of my studies of charismatic leaders. And again, to a person, I could see they were very gifted communicators. And I began to ask myself, was there almost like a script? So, you know, in Hollywood, there are horror movies, and if you look at them, they're scripts. There's a formula, and you can actually use that formula to create your own horror movie.
So you're going to teach us to do horror movies in corporations?
Yeah, or romantic movies.
I know a few horror movies.
And my focus being more of the adventure scripts, which is, you know, finding the secret artifact and saving the world from other evil forces. And what I began to realize is these individuals had they intuitively figured out the formula. And one, in terms of setting the goals, they were very clear. We kind of were at a crossroads. And we can go this path, which we're currently on, and here's where it's going to take us. It's okay, but frankly, it's not where you and I want to be. And then they were very adept at describing why the future vision was the place to go. And then, in a way, they gave you the option. But it was pretty clear which way you should go. So they're master of what we call framing, which is describing an attractive future, and then describing why the current status quo is not the place to stay for long. Very memorable, and so they would use stories to illustrate their ideas. They would use analogies, so they take things that were quite complex and turn them into analogies that everyone could remember. And they were very effective in describing things with vivid details and visuals. And what we know from studies in memory is that actually we are visual creatures, and we're far more likely to remember images and stories than we are ever a PowerPoint presentation. And I always argue that managers trade off efficiency, which is I don't have time to do a lot, so I'm going to whip up a set of bullet points, for impact, which is I need my message to be memorable. Most of my team is not with me every day. Some of them are all over the globe. And so managers haven't come to appreciate the power of their words. I always like to say the limits on your words are the limits on your influence.
That's a powerful statement.
Well, if you think about it, our gift as creatures, or creatures on the planet, is we have the most sophisticated verbal skills of any other creature. And we were endowed with that gift, and yet we forget it every day. We actually don't use that gift. And I think it's because what we've learned is that we have analytic tools, and they're important, so I'm not going to throw them out. But we've come to rely so heavily on those analytic tools, we aren't using our communication tools.